Victim-minded women make terrible relationship partners. I'm Paul, apexmindset.net to book a consultation. Like the video, share it, watch it till the end, subscribe, of course, and let's get into this. The question was asked on a TikTok of some sort, and I just came across this with social media, so I'm not sure whose account or what the deal is, right? But and the question was, oh, ladies, what would you do if men weren't around for 24 hours? Now, there's the joking comments that someone might make, like, what would you do if women weren't around for 24 hours? I'd whatever. You can make a bunch of jokes or whatever. Okay, it's having a sense of humor. That's fine. But look at some of these ridiculous answers that we're looking at. Of course, they're getting 50,000 likes for some of these dumb answers, and those are, of course, simping beta men who, oh yes, girl, oh, I wouldn't know what it's like to be a woman now in 2021. It must be so hard, right? But look at this: go on a walk alone at night or ride my bike alone. Oh, okay, like you can't in most places in the first world country, you can't ride your bike, ladies. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can go on a bike ride by yourself. Wear whatever I want outside without being scared. Like, it's like some of these things are so ridiculous and they illustrate a victim's mindset. It's like the evil men out there are preventing you from wearing whatever you want. And that's these, when women talk like this, and if you're dating someone who talks like this, understand that the underlying ideology is that she hates men. All right. Women who feel like they're victimized all the time by a patriarchy, they hate men. They dislike and hate men. And more than that, they hate the powerlessness that they feel every day being a woman, which is sad and a shame because women have more protection today than they have had probably in our entire history in most parts of the world. But there is no place that any human being can go and be fully safe or protected. If I go on a walk alone at night, I could be just as subjected to a stray dog or a car or even a couple thugs maybe thinking that they could get something on me if I'm in the wrong neighborhood. As a male or a female, there's always going to be risks for doing things. If your first thought is to think about how oppressed you are because of all the men around and of how powerless you are, and then you're going to make comments like that, walk alone in the city and just breathe. Oh, because I can't walk alone with men around. Like, it's this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, run it around at night blasting my music into my headphones without feeling like I need to take one out. It's like, okay, but look, you have to be safety conscious. Whether you're a man or a woman, you have to take responsibility for yourself. And that's what goes, again, back to an entitlement mindset. This idea that you should walk, it would be nice if you go anywhere in the world and just be safe and never have to worry about anything. But I don't get to do that as a male who's arguably a powerful male, right? I don't get to do that. I have to be safety conscious. When I take my car out, I need to know if I can change my own tire, if I got gas in it, and if I have the means to call for help if there's an incident or a problem. I carry a firearm usually for self-defense, but self-defense is a factor. That's part of the equation of being a human being. And I certainly don't sit here and blame some external source for the fact that I have to do things to take care of myself. Wear an actual bathing suit and go to the beach. All right, well, she's obviously fat. But even if you're fat, wear a bathing suit, be fat. Nobody cares. Nobody's looking at you. That's you. That's another thing. Women are more critical of each other than men are critical of them. Whoever wrote this, wearing your bathing suit, 177,000 likes, by the way. Oh, you can't wear a bathing suit. Oh, because of the men. Bitch, wear your bathing suit. It's not the men that are a problem. Women are going to talk about you more than men are. Women are catty, about each other behind their backs, whatever. But again, this goes back to this idea that men are the problem. Men are suppressing women, but meanwhile, they're strong, powerful, and independent and can do anything a man can do. So, of course, we have both. And see, all that is a hatred towards men because they feel inadequate. They're not getting what they want in life. They're not happy with themselves. They have low self-esteem. So their overall feeling is that men are the problem. People who comment like this on threads like that, and people who like these comments are generally simps or other women that, again, are the problem and not going to be good relationship partners for anybody. Be confident on social media. You can't be confident on social media, honey, because of men. Men are the problem, right? It's not that women aren't going to talk about you too, right? It's human condition, but it's just part of it, right? And it's this idea that, again, if it wasn't for men, I could do all of these things. I'd be so free. Never mind, of course, all the things. There's never a thought about what men are actually doing for you, what men in society do for women, do for themselves. There's a lot of good men out there that do a lot of things and offer a lot of value. And there's a lot of good women out there that do a lot of things and offer a lot of value. And that's the other part. I couldn't imagine, what are you going to do without women around for 24 hours? Other than make a joke, a serious answer to that question, I couldn't even come up with one. But it wouldn't be something really negative. You know what I mean? Again, joking aside, right? And I don't have this negative outlook on women and think that women are a detriment to society. This comment section is so painfully true. But is it though? Is it really painfully true? Give me a break, right? And that's the problem with our society we're in right now, is people are so goddamn dramatic. Okay? You're not being suppressed or oppressed from doing any fucking thing whatsoever just because you have a vagina. Oh, but I wouldn't understand because I'm a man. That's another funny thing too. How many times would could you imagine me saying to a woman, you wouldn't understand because you don't have a penis? Oh, I don't understand because I'm not menstruating, once a month. So gosh, the inability to menstruate once a month really hinders my thoughts and experiences. And so thank God we have women like these to tell me and set me straight and educate me on the internet, on social media, because my ability to menstruate or possibly have a baby someday really hinders my logic, in my opinion, and hinders my ability to, formulate thoughts, obviously. How ridiculous that is. So why am I hammering on this? Because so many women would respond like this and have this mindset. And you guys are dating them. You guys are marrying them. You guys are simping for them. Stop it. Okay, just stop it. Because a woman who thinks like this hates you at your core. It's kind of a love-hate relationship, but ultimately she hates you. Ultimately, she feels victimized. She feels inadequate. And she's also entitled. And so that entitlement mindset and that inadequacy and those feelings causes her to blame men in general and hate men for that. And so her overall feeling is negative over men. Well, if you're dating this woman, guess what you are? You're a man. Now, she may do mental gymnastics because she's attracted to you in her chimp brain and say, oh, you're one of the different ones. You might simp for her enough and she might say, oh, well, you're the nice guy, but there's a lot of really bad guys out there. Jump those logical hoops to make you feel liked and make you feel loved by her, right? And make you feel different than all the other terrible men that have oppressed her. But the reality is, As soon as you do something that's out of line from what she thinks you should be doing, like, for example, tell her no to something and see how well that works out, you will now fall into the category of all of the men that have disempowered her and made her feel helpless and that she's angry at and that she ultimately hates. All right. And so women who think this way, they're just not good partners. And unfortunately, I'm seeing it around in different places and observing it, even women who are really conservative, even women who have good values, it would seem, are adopting this mindset that is being pushed through a gynocentric culture that somehow men are preventing them from doing things that they want to do. And somehow men are this problem for them. And that is a major problem, because if she adopts that mindset and that way of thinking in any kind of serious way, ultimately, she's not going to like you very much either. At some point down the line, when you have that disagreement or you tell her no, you're going to be part of that patriarchy that she sees as been oppressing her entire life because of her lack of personal responsibility and recognizing that she is the origin of her own problems, most likely, because most people are their biggest problems. Instead of recognizing her own faults and shortcomings, she's blaming them on other people, and in this case, an entire gender. Okay. And to have this mindset and to be serious about this is never good. And guys who simp for this girl, well, you're not being good for a girl in a relationship either, because you're showing and demonstrating an ability to establish standards for yourselves and standards of behavior, what you're willing to accept. You're trying to placate to somebody that doesn't even really care for you all that much. So if she's taking on that kind of rhetoric, yes, it's possible that she's just falling into social norms and it's just not that deep and she doesn't feel that deeply about it. But if she is taking on rhetoric that she is somehow oppressed from being able to do things because of an entire gender that's out there, and she's somehow unable to live her life the way she wants to because of men, and demonstrates really what is ultimately a hatred towards men, then guess what? That is going to turn and rear its ugly head on you as soon as you're not doing something that she would want or like. As soon as you're not appeasing her sensibilities, that she's going to adopt that same hatred that she has towards men in general. It'll be adopted towards you, and it'll rear its ugly head in a relationship and in arguments, and it's not worth being in a commitment with that person. So be aware and factor that into your decisions when you're picking a girl to have any sort of fixture in your life, because there's plenty of women out there, believe it or not, who wouldn't write stupid comments like that. Take care.